can the NHL in Utah thrive? I guess that's the question.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is I think so, but I'm not certain of that. I think that when we look at the way that Ryan Smith has done business as the owner of the Utah Jazz, I don't know that Ryan Smith is the right guy to power the NHL in Utah. I truly do not. I'm going to play you this bite of this press conference that he did. And I just don't, if you listen to Ryan Smith, I guess here is my question. If you listen to Ryan Smith, do you buy what he is selling? Because there's no doubt he is selling. And I think I did a live stream the other night on Twitter, and it's on my Twitter feed. Please go back and watch if you haven't seen it. It's not personal. And I think a lot of people want to make the situation with Ryan Smith personal. And I can tell you unequivocally, it is not personal. Neither one, Jake or I, know Ryan Smith. He is, as I've said, refused to come on the show. He does not generally do interviews with people that are going to ask him questions of any sort, of any kind. Sort is not a word. Of any kind. Ryan is not used to accountability. And it was interesting in this press conference, he actually did get a couple of questions that were frankly uncomfortable. And I think it's really important to see that. And I also think it's really important that as a city and a state, that Salt Lake City and Utah are excited about the NHL, because if the city and the state are not excited, it's going to fail miserably. And that's not an option, because we're going to pay this 0.5% sales tax hike for the next 30 years. That's not going away. If the NHL thrives, that's not going away. If the NHL bombs and Ryan Smith winds up selling the team, that's not going away. It's not going away. We all, as a collective, are going to pay that 0.5% sales tax. But I want you to listen to Ryan Smith talk about downtown, talk about, his passion. And do you buy what Ryan Smith is selling on the NHL?
Yeah. So Lindsay, it's a good question. I think, a few of us went and saw LA Live a couple weeks ago. From city and public officials, we all went down and did a tour. And there's a lot of new sports and entertainment districts that have been set up on the outskirts of cities. But the reason why we wanted to see that particular district was because it was right in the heart of LA. And that's a very different proposition than to go and build a new area. Downtowns are not having their strongest moment across the U.S., to say the least. I don't know what it is, but post-pandemic and everything else, it's been really, really difficult. And, the Jazz probably go where hockey goes, if we're going to be honest.
Bro, first of all, how are you comparing this to LA Live? I don't know the answer to that question. Having lived in LA, having worked for the Lakers when the Staples Center, now Crypto.com Arena, opened, understanding the enormity of that project, the money that came from private sources and Schultz, like all of the different private guys, the idea that Ryan Smith is trying to compare LA Live to whatever this is going to be at the Delta Center, I think is really problematic. And that last line that he put out, where he said, the NHL or the Jazz go where the NHL goes. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I mean, I think it should be the other way around. I think hockey should go where the Jazz go, and I don't think the Jazz should be in Riverton or Draper. I think the Jazz have always been popping balloons in the background on accident. No, I think that I was a little surprised, because the Jazz are obviously, what's been here and what's going to be here. And this whole hockey concept feels like, a little bit of the new car smell situation, where Ryan wants it to be as perfect as possible. He wants it to be sold as such a positive. And the reality of the situation is that, the reason he's using LA Live as an example is because there is not a better example of an entertainment district in a downtown situation. The only difference is obviously that's LA, and there's something to be said for that. Like like LA is a mecca. It is a much larger metro than downtown Salt. Like it's not, you're comparing apples and oranges at that point, in my opinion. And I think, that's the issue I have with it, is that the Delta Center renovation is a different part than the downtown renovation. And there's a graphic going around Twitter right now where it shows that 29% of downtown Salt Lake is parking. That we don't have huge parking structures. We don't have, accommodations for all these people. There's a reason we don't have every single major sport chilling downtown in Salt Lake City. We don't have the room for it. We don't have the infrastructure for it. It's not set up that way. And that's why I have concerns, because yeah, sure, you could build a parking structure, or you could like build, more accommodations. But the reality is LA Live isn't about the fact that there's an entertainment district in a downtown situation.
No.
It's about the fact that you've got the Lakers sitting there with all their statues. You've got this sort of aura and environment about
the
it.
Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
You have major concerts. You have major lifestyle. You have major hotels.
And I feel like it's much more in the culture in LA. It fits better. Like that's not our culture here.
You have Crypto.com Arena that is attached to the LA Convention Center. You have world-class restaurants. You have world-class hotels. You have world-class entertainment spaces. You have ESPN's West Coast headquarters at LA Live. Like you have to understand that this is an entertainment mecca at LA Live. Delta Center, with all due respect, Delta Center's never going to be that kind of attraction.
And I do think Delta Center's a nice building. Like I've been in a lot of NBA buildings. I think it's a perfectly fine NBA facility.
But am I the only one that sees the irony that everybody in Utah rips Los Angeles and California, and it's a shithole, and there's a bunch of homeless people, and it's those damn liberals?
But I know when you were downtown last week, there were no homeless people, right?
There were no homeless people.
And it's perfectly
There
clean.
was not a drug-addicted guy laying on the sidewalk when we went and saw the symphony.
Come on.
And what is Mrs. Monty's number one complaint about why does she not like going to Jazz games? Well, because it's the middle of winter and you've got to walk 3-4 blocks to get to the arena.
Typically in snow.
There is no... Your parking infrastructure issue is exactly right.
But what do they have in Las Vegas? Oh, that's right. They've got a parking garage attached to T-Mobile, and you don't have to go outside if you don't want to.
T-Mobile Arena is located at the entertainment mecca of Las Vegas. It is in the middle of Las Vegas, where there's tens of thousands of parking spots.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different setup. And you look at this situation in downtown, I would be going and looking at LA Live. I would be going and looking at T-Mobile in Las Vegas. I'd be doing all of that. I would not be publicly saying this is going to be LA Live in downtown Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I mean, I think Delta Center situation is much more akin to like Oracle Park for the Giants in San Francisco.
I would agree with that.
Where you have
agree with that.
A park situated basically just in a section of downtown, and there's not a ton around it. I mean, you're talking about the rail system there being obviously goes by the ballpark, and then you've got a great chicken and waffle place there, and you've got a couple other odds and ends, but it's not like it's some like, huge
Chase
thing.
Center down the street now. You've got the Warriors and the Giants. And what's the biggest difference with LA Live and the Warriors and the Giants? All of those teams have championships.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. I would also remind you, where do the San Jose Sharks play? They play in the South Bay. They're not like, there is no hockey downtown there.
Yeah.
And the struggle is, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about this, and I'm asking legitimately, I don't believe that the NHL is this mecca. And I'm going to play this sound again, because I think one of the most important things that Ryan Smith says, one of the things he says, and I actually don't remember if it's in this clip or not, but he talks about how we're going to make a lot of money, so much so that in the future, people are going to be like, wow, we made a lot of money. There's not an example. And again, if we're supposedly the truth in sports talk, let's tell the truth. Find me the NHL arena that has been built on taxpayer money that's, wow, we made a lot of money.
But you made a lot of money for who? This is the thing. This is what I'm saying. It's a marketing ploy. You made a lot of money for who? Ryan Smith keeps saying, oh, Utah shows up. Utah shows up. Yeah, I'm well aware that Utah shows up. I'm not well aware that you know how to win a championship or you know how to keep this team relevant after you traded away all the talent. And that's my problem. And before you listen to this bite, I want you to listen to it in the sense that this guy says all the right things for all the wrong reasons.
But also notice how uncomfortable he is.
Well, that's, yeah.
Notice the lip gloss he is wearing. Notice it's uncomfortable listening to this guy speak because it's the ums, the ahs.
He seems unsure.
Because he's spinning. He doesn't have truth on his side. That's what he doesn't have. Here's Ryan Smith, the owner of the NHL in Utah.
Yeah, so Lindsay, it's a good question. I think a few of us went and saw LA Live a couple weeks ago. From city and public officials, we all went down and did a tour. And there's a lot of new sports and entertainment districts that have been set up on the outskirts of cities. But the reason why we wanted to see that particular district was because it was right in the heart of LA. And that's a very different proposition than to go and build a new area. Downtowns are not having their strongest moment across the U.S., to say the least. I don't know what it is, but post-pandemic and everything else, it's been really, really difficult. And, I mean, the Jazz probably go where hockey goes, if we're going to be honest.
100,000 subscribers of confetti. What does the pandemic have to do with anything?
Well, and I feel like that's the other thing. Like it's, oh, hey, the pandemic killed downtown, or hey, like the pandemic has made things difficult. No, what's made things difficult is downtown Salt Lake is not yet prepared to have people frequenting it all the time. Like it just doesn't. The pandemic is not an excuse, bro. You have to be honest about it. And I feel like Ryan tries so hard to sound like corporate bigwig guy when he talks instead of just saying, yeah, you know what? Like we looked at LA Live because I want this downtown. I want this. I want downtown to turn into where everybody likes to go instead of the Delta Center being in a situation where we have some issues around it and it's kind of a struggle for our fans to get to it. Like, why not just say that? Why not just be honest about the fact that, hey, like downtown in Salt Lake is not ideal right now. Like
it's not.
It's just not a place where you're like, man, I am so excited to go downtown. I'm not. And frankly, it is way out of the way. It is not. It's not centrally located in terms of Salt Lake County. It's on the north end of Salt Lake County, and all the money's in the south end. So all the people that you want showing up are chilling in their house, having good food, enjoying the game on their big ass TV.
And I think the other part of this is that you have him talking about Draper. He wanted to move this team to Draper.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the bottom line for me is I don't see the NHL as a rousing success in Utah. I just don't.
I do think the building will be full. I do think that he is going to make a lot of money. And that's the point that I hope that you as a sports fan take home from what Ryan Smith talks about. Notice he always says, we're going to make a lot of money. Buy your season tickets. Utah shows up. Utah showing up doesn't mean that that's good for the state. You understand that, right? Like, it's good for Ryan Smith. It's good for SCG, right? It's probably good for the building.
Don't you mean Smith Entertainment Group?
Yeah, Smith Entertainment Group, right? Like, okay, cool. Like, I get it, Ryan. You're making your money back. I understand. But that doesn't mean that I'm sitting here thrilled to pay 0.5% more in tax. I'm not. And I still think he has not had to answer the question of why didn't you put it to a public vote? Why didn't you let the people decide?
He will never be asked that.
Well, he should be asked that. And yeah, I agree. Local media won't ask that.
Never.
We're too busy at the Trib writing pieces about how we're no longer Jazz fans because the Jazz were so terrible, as if that wasn't obvious. Like, it just bothers me so much that people won't just ask a follow-up question like, okay, cool. Like, that's your opinion, Ryan. What are you going to do to bring a Stanley Cup to Salt Lake? What are you going to do to, like, any number of things?
All right. let's get some of your comments in here. Obviously, a lot of you commenting on 100,000, which is great. Dibs, whose comment I did not read. Congratulations on 100K. You've come a long way from Jake's basement. Yeah, remember when we were in your basement,
dude,
bro?
Apparently we were in my basement.
With Jordans on the wall. Well deserved. Thank you. Aaron Wilson gifts a Monty Show membership. Aaron, thank you. Jimmy Otson, hello. Referred to this channel a year ago. Rip Gold and Blue Dude. Yes, indeed. Rest easy, my friend. Roy Wall, a new member of the
There we go. There we go.
Let's go. You can join the Monty Show on 2 levels. Don't forget. We have a premium tier that gets you into Jake's little cool kids club, and you automatically get a free. What are you giving away? A WRX STI here, or like not an STI
via social media?
Yeah, that's a lie. If you join our members only, you DM Jake on Instagram, SLC Jake. He will put you into our members only group. That is if you join our members only content for $10 a month. For $2 a month, you can join our entry level membership to support the channel. Thank you for that. Let's see. Boyd Lake says parking is a big deal. Got to have available options for a culture that prefers to drive everywhere. This is true. Roger Sales. What's up, my guy? Congratulations. I found you back in the basement days at around 1,000 subs and enjoyed every minute. Keep it going. Another birthday party at the Grizzlies. Well, now it has to be at the NHL, right?
Right.
You know, maybe. Roger.
Yes. Let's give Ryan Smith more money.
Mikkel, it's pronounced Mike Chase. Hello. Congrats on 100K subscribers. I remember when there was less than 1,000 and your birthday bash. That was a blast. It was so much
good time.
fun.
Yeah, that was really fun.
It was so much fun. All sports are scripted. Says, remember, the tallest buildings at Salt Lake City skyline is the LDS World Headquarters in Temple Square.
Is that somehow a
Is
surprise?
that still true? Well, there's more balloons coming in now.
Can we pan the camera out just a minute? Oh, we're going over the top.
We're going over the top now. There's more. Okay, we're going over the top now. We're going over the top.
I think we need to do the show under the table now.
The ladies of Montyville are hanging balloons.
Over under the balloons falling us.
Under.
Like that.
They're just like that. Just like that. Good call. You should play Prize Picks today.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, call me John C. Porter, you know?
Oh my God. How about Michael Porter in the locker room the other night being asked about that? There we go. All right, ladies, well done. Well done.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good talk.
Okay, they almost didn't last. You know.
Get a page, get it.
The balloons have lasted not as long as the Monty Show. You know.
We're trying.
I'm doing my part to decorate the set. It's what I do. This is wild. This is what our show has become now. This is what happens when you hit 100,000 subscribers.
Big things.
You have to do balloons and there's confetti everywhere.
100%. You have to do this stuff.
Does the LDS have the tallest buildings in Salt Lake City? This feels like one of those things that you have to...
Last time we brought up LDS ownership of land or buildings, people freaked out, over what you said. So we should probably,
Tallest buildings in Salt. Salt. It looks fine. Salt Lake City. Let's see. Tallest buildings in Salt Lake City. The Astra Tower became the tallest building in Salt Lake City in 2023. I don't know what the Astra Tower is, but that's cool.
Can you measure it?
I can. Wells Fargo Center.
Oh.
The LDS church office building is now number 3. Okay. 95 State Street. And then the property designed by international architects, the Eccles Theater is the 5th. The building that houses the Eccles Theater is the 5th tallest building.
Nice.
So there you go. That is awesome. The Astra Tower.
I mean, is it any surprise? Honestly,
no.
Come on,
not a surprise.
Yeah,
but that's kind of cool. The Astra Tower. Who knew?
Yeah. Who knew?
Who knew? I did not know this at all. Jimmy Otson, will the Coyotes come to Utah without any additional public money? The Delta Center is not completely suitable for hockey. Number one, the Coyotes name stays in, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So the situation is the Coyotes name, image, and likeness, if you will, stays in Arizona.
It's always
And
about
they will.
NIL.
So this is something that I feel like hasn't been talked about a lot either. A lot of people aren't asking like, hey, well, is it the Coyotes coming to Salt Lake, or like, is this a new team, or this is a new franchise? It is not. I haven't heard a lot of verbiage around expansion team. They've been calling it just a new franchise, a relocation. And so the Morellos have promised, they put out a statement saying, we are going to buy land. They have a development plan in Scottsdale on the reservation that they're working on. So,
they are guaranteed a franchise in Phoenix if they are able to get an arena. That is the stipulation. The NFL or the NHL, excuse me, is guaranteed Arizona a new expansion franchise if they can get an arena deal done. So the Coyotes name stays in Arizona.
Yeah.
I hope it's not the Yetis, but we'll see. Aaron Wilson says Rip Gumby, which I still don't understand because Gumby's here like every day. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Q Sam, Gary Bettman should have moved the team to Quebec, but he hates Canadian markets. Yeah. I mean, who likes Canadians?
I mean, there's only Calgary, Edmonton, Toronto,
Winnipeg. It's fine. Mike Smith, thank you, ladies. The ladies are out. They did a great job.
They did.
Mike Smith, I like how they are celebrating and throwing confetti for Utah getting a hockey team. That's what this is.
I mean, that's what it is. And it's nothing to do with our sub count. I mean, it's all about the hockey team.
It's 100 days till face off.
Yeah.
Brandon Butler, NBA books are way different. The 90 million top end and manageable investment that made 13 million last year. That's a top 10 player in the NHL. I would agree with that. The economics of the NHL are completely different than the economics of the NBA. It's not even a conversation. It is not even a conversation.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Giggity, congratulations, fellas. It's been a hell of a ride to tag along with you guys. Giggity has been here since the shithole radio station in Phoenix.
Yeah, so this show goes all the way back. What are we, 10 years in now?
Oh, no, 2015.
2015, so 9 years in now.
That's wild.
This show started
October 1st, 2015
on Periscope.
Yep.
Which used to be the video platform on Twitter. And yeah, we were doing this show on an iPad and just talking about it. And that was, seems like so many days ago, but I remember
it really
it
does.
Was yesterday.
It really does seem like so many days ago.
Yeah. And so,
man,
again, you think about, and this is for me, what's special about days like this, because it's like, we started on an iPad with one desk, no backdrop, just a super raw shot, two people on a mic talking about whatever. And it's evolved. We did, we were at the Crapple radio station in Phoenix. We won an award there. Then so we've just done so many things. And I think finally the show has found its prime in the last 2 years on YouTube with our current setup tech-wise. It's a really good thing.
It is. And we appreciate guys like Giddy. You've been around a long, long time. Look, giving away a smoker to Chris Karn.
Yes.
I remember that. OG Gary, I take tracks to get to Delta Center, which is great. That's public transportation in Salt Lake City. Yes. Boyd is spot on. Parking is a big part of any sports experience. Football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. It truly is. And parking in downtown Salt Lake is a wreck.
Yeah.
It, especially around Delta Center. I really hope there is something done to address that. I doubt there will be. I seriously doubt there will be. Robert Fowler. What's up, Bobby Fowler? Congrats on 100,000 dudes. Wish I would have known this show was on when it started. Best sports show around. Go Iowa football offense #1. Exactly. Exactly. I mean,
stay home, dude.
You do you, man.
Dude, the brand loyalty is real.
Yeah. Eric Wasikowski, just need to move back to afternoon now. Yeah,
Huh?
Not going to happen. 1984 says LDS owns the Wells Fargo building.
Okay.
That's fine. I don't, is that true? Let's see. Save on Osco. When Albertsons decided to move operations to the hardware building, the building was purchased by Wasatch Property Management and renamed the Wells Fargo Center, the building headquarters of the Salt Lake Organizing Committee for the 2002 Olympics. Okay. That could be. I've been to that building many times to do TV shows because there's a major TV station there. It says the building was purchased by Wasatch Property Management. So I'm not sure. Maybe that changed. Let's see. The Lord Commander. I honestly don't think that he thought the turnaround would be so fast. Notice how quickly he pivoted from new stadium immediately to, well, I guess we have a plan to renovate Delta Center. There is some of that. I don't disagree. Mountain Mama. Monty can now rest his head back against the last zero.
Hey, Monty.
Hi. I can. Exactly right. James says, I agree, Eric. Please move back to afternoon.
Hi, this is James. Welcome back. Yay!
Loner Phone says, good morning. Good morning. Hello. Mark Hales, hello. Congratulations on 100K. I was just in Bluffdale yesterday. Let's see. Sandusky, Ohio bro says, are y'all originally from Ohio? We are not. Chicago. Chad Carter says, congrats, gentlemen. Thoroughly enjoy the show, being a part of my day. Well done. Might try to fly out and join the party. We got to do something.
Yeah.
Arlington Bears, hello. Got to talk about the Bears coming up in a minute. I'm around 1,000 sub guy. Congrats. Thank you, Chris. Good to see you. Hope the smoker as well. We gave away a smoker on the show. I don't remember for what, but we gave away a smoker from our guys at Barbecue Pit Stop.
Yeah. So what's going to be we need some ideas. We tried to come up with something to do, but we just weren't sure what would be fitting for 100,000 subs. Like,
a lot of subs.
Is it, I mean, we could do another smoker. We could do, I mean, there are many things that we could do. What would be some ideas from your guys' viewpoint?
Yeah. Brandon Butler, let's get to 250K. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I've been around the show for about 2 years now. I think 1 year as a member. Amen to that. Good to see you. OG Gary, I remember the lead up to the birthday bash. I was here for that. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. Caleb Aylmore, congrats, guys. Been here since 2021. Happy to see the show grow so much. Thank you. Snuka. Look at Snuka. Had to tune in for 100K. Congrats. Petition for Utah Mountaineers hockey name. Mountaineers would be cool.
Yeah, it's better than Yetis, certainly. But I feel like it's just so like...
Is it inevitable that it'll be Yetis? I think it's inevitable.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
I think it's inevitable. By the way, Scotty Scheffler won again. They just finished up the
5 in a row.
RBC. He's won 5. Him and Nelly Corda are on rolls in golf like you've never seen. Not such as in like myself.
Right.
But, PXG golf set. OG Gary says, give one of those away. Congrats on 100K. Let's give away a dozen Cougar tails. I could absolutely do that. We could do that.
Yeah. We could do Cougar tails.
Boyd Lake suggests a Utah blizzard.
I mean, I like where you're going with that. It just feels a little corny. The Utah blizzard.
I think it's going to be Yetis. I would hope not, but I think it'll be Yetis.
Yeah. I mean, it probably will be. Like, the thing is like the Kraken works for Seattle because they're right on the ocean. That makes a lot of sense. The Golden Knights just felt good because it was Vegas and it's shiny. And
could do the Utah Skinwalkers. No. Skinwalkers doesn't work.
No, that's not.
Oh, I'm just making suggestions. Roy Wall, the Utah Phoenix. See the correlation.
See what he did there. See what he did there. It all kind of works together.
I don't hate Blizzard. I don't hate Blizzard in any way, shape, or form.
The Utah Squalls.
Okay, the Utah Squalls. Mike Smith, Mountain Mama. Yetis will go over about as well as the Commanders did.
Seriously.
I don't disagree with that. 1984, how long before Smith sells the teams? I don't think he will. I hope he does. It would be if Ryan Smith brought the NHL here, did all this work, and then sold the team, I think it'd be really bad for Utah.
Yeah.
Really, really bad. He's not going to sell it. He won't. Season tickets to the Jazz must be cheaper than Pistons these days. It's not. Q Sam, Utah Winter Soldiers.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Are cougar tails soaked or unsoaked?
Tanner
Plummer's our soaking expert. I don't believe he is awake this morning yet. OG Gary, do we get to throw Yeti bottles on the rink?
I'm going to say that's a no, man.
That's a no.
That's going to be a hard pass.
I think that's a felony.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. All sports are scripted, says the Utah Swarm. It matches the state nickname in AAA baseball team.
I guess.
The Beehive State, the Utah, the Salt Lake
The
Bees.
Stingers.
The Stingers. Latter-day Skates.
Bruh, you did not just do that.
Latter-day Skates. The Storm and Mormons. I don't think you can use a slur as a name, right? Because isn't Mormons now frowned upon?
It is frowned upon, yeah.
You know.
The Frozen Soakers.
Okay, dude. Don't be a jerk. Boyd Lake, Yetis give you a built-in mascot. They do, in an easy one. Robert Fowler, give away a set of tires from Big O Tires. We could absolutely do that. The Lord Commander, Colorado Avalanche probably won't like Blizzard or Yeti. It was their mascot. Well, there is that.
Yeah.
There is that. I don't disagree with that. The Utah Super Soakers, and you can have water guns as a mascot. Right? Washington Prime at Amazon Stadium. I mean,
sure. Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Steven Smith, congrats on 100K and always giving the honest truth in sports. Any other shows that used to watch don't talk in reality. There is some of that. This is what we do. This show is not, I think one of the things that separates our show is this is what we do. This is not like a hobby. This is not like, this is what we do. So it is, whether it's, I don't know how much equipment we have invested here, but $50,000, $60,000, whether it's,
it's a lot. And I think that, it's also a consistency thing. I think that, for the most part, I know we do take Fridays off.
We.
We'll take, 2 Fridays off a month probably right now, and I think
in the summer,
I think that that's perfectly fine. I think that it's when you work as hard as we work, like, I think it allows you to do that, but I think it also puts the show in a different situation. Like if there are channels out there that we used to compete with that we've gone by that do way more content, like in terms of how many videos they put out or like how often they do it or whatever. Like there's some channels that do shows multiple times a day, but I ultimately feel like the best shows have great connection. And, that's what I think this show has become, because you guys are a great community and obviously we do the show as much as we can. And I think we just have to enjoy it for as long as we get to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Noel Ramirez, hello. I mean, some Native Americans that still follow their original traditions say just by saying the word will bring bad luck. So I doubt they would want that as a team name. Okay. I'm not going to say that word. Utah Saints. Okay. The Utah Monis. I agree with that 100%.
See, that's the best name I've heard yet.
Cam Harrison. Hello. Congrats on 100,000. Shout out to Mo Bamba.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
Exactly right. Utah Cutthroats, named after a trout. Yes. No, that name will never fly. Fish don't fly. Anyway. The Utah Saints. I like Eric's idea. Hey, if I could take a couple Fridays off a month, I would. Don't blame me one bit. Because we don't take days off.
Yeah.
During football season, like the only time we take time off is a week at the end of the year. Other than that, we don't generally take weeks off. It's just not what we do.
It's not what we do.
It's not what we do. You know what I'm saying?
We do what we do.
We do play Prize Picks, prizepicks.com. Use the promo code Monty.